Chosen one, their disappearance hit like a thunderclap, leaving you stunned in the silence they left behind. What you never saw coming was how, long before they vanished, they had been crafting a web of lies, carefully designed to poison your name, distort your soul's reflection, and shadow your light. These whispers weren't random, they were calculated strikes, aimed at breaking your foundation and bending the reality others believed about you. In their desperate bid to shield their own name, they sacrificed yours without a second thought. Yet destiny has its own way of balancing scales. Those twisted lies found their way to ears they never expected. Someone who values truth above all else, who saw through the deception like clear water through glass. This guardian of honesty stepped forward boldly, unshaken and resolute, ready to dismantle the falsehoods with undeniable clarity. Now they retreat into the shadows, not fearing your truth, but terrified of the accusations they spun against you unraveling. They keep their distance because confronting you means facing the fallout of their own betrayal, exposed by the very ally they once counted on to shield their falsehoods. Their silence isn't about your deeds, it's the echo of their lies crashing against the unwavering voice that dared to speak the truth without fear or favor. They gambled on the wrong guardian for their deceit, and now the weight of their own fabrications traps them. Fueled by bruised pride and trembling fear, they saw your true strength as a threat too great to face. Instead of embracing the brilliance you embody, they sought to snuff out your flame with venomous words, hoping to bury your radiance beneath the shadows of their own insecurity. It was the act of a fractured spirit, grasping for control in a world slipping through their fingers. They cast you as the villain, volatile, cunning, unfaithful, traits that mirror their own hidden shadows, ones they dare not face. But the second those accusations escaped, a shadow of remorse settled deep within them. A sudden clarity broke through their denial, revealing the bitter truth they tried so hard to conceal. Their betrayal wasn't just personal, it was a fracture in the very fabric of trust that bound you together, a wound inflicted on the sacredness of truth itself. Deep within, their spirit understood the gravity of their actions, even as their ego clung desperately to illusions of self-preservation. In trying to shield a fleeting image, they shattered something eternal and profound. Now the echoes of their words ripple outward, irreversible and haunting, a reminder that some wounds cannot be undone once inflicted. The lie they sowed has grown wild, thriving in the fertile ground of doubt and fear they themselves cultivated. What started as a fleeting misstep has become a relentless cycle, one that demands endless attention and reinforcement. Every interaction now forces them to weave a tighter web of falsehoods, carefully crafting a story that must never falter. With each new layer, the truth is buried deeper, and the weight of their own creation grows heavier with every passing day. The relentless strain of upholding their tangled web of lies drains their spirit bit by bit, a heavy toll paid in sleepless nights and restless days. The confidant who held these secrets sensed their weight instinctively, not through overt malice, but through an unspoken awareness of the power such knowledge carries. It was a silent tension, an invisible line drawn in the air. This truth could be wielded like a blade if the moment demanded, a quiet reminder that every secret holds the potential to become a formidable force. What masqueraded as loyalty was, in truth, a calculated exchange, a subtle form of spiritual extortion, secrets held hostage, used as leverage to bind a soul in invisible chains. This unseen pressure forces them into roles that clash with their true self, trapping them in cycles of compromise and pretense. Each act becomes a performance, a carefully choreographed dance to appease unseen watchers, while their genuine essence quietly withers beneath the weight of obligation and fear. They sit through whispered judgments and twisted tales about you, feeling a sick knot tighten in their stomach with every word. They play the part, feigning agreement with lies they secretly reject, caught in a web they cannot easily escape. Behind closed doors, schemes unfold in shadows, silent deals struck, and alliances shifted, all without your knowledge. When you walk into a room, conversations freeze and eyes dart furtively, carrying secrets and unspoken warnings that hang heavy in the air whenever your name surfaces. The one who wields control never needs to raise their voice. Instead, they deliver quiet reminders, seemingly harmless comments that cut deep only to the one who knows their meaning. This invisible battle plays out in the margins of ordinary moments, a constant undercurrent of pressure and threat. They cling to the illusion that keeping their distance shields them from harm, that absence is a shield against exposure. But no amount of space can erase the weight of what lingers unseen, nor the truth that always waits just beneath the surface. Distance becomes their refuge, a fragile barrier protecting the elaborate story they've spun. Your presence is a mirror, reflecting the cracks in their facade, stirring a restless conscience that tightens with every shared glance. Close to you, their web of deceit trembles, and the weight of truth grows impossible to bear. They dread the power of a single genuine exchange, one honest breath between you, that could shatter the illusion they've desperately clung to and bring their carefully guarded world crashing down. Caught in the grip of their own fear, they linger in a restless void, too shackled by deceit to find freedom, yet too afraid to step into the light of truth. This self-made purgatory drains their spirit, breeding a deep cosmic inertia that seeps into every part of their being. Shadows of anxiety and waves of despair ripple through their mind, twisting their actions into unpredictable patterns. Slowly, the turmoil inside spills outward, warping their reality until the chaos within becomes impossible to hide from the world around them. Though they keep their distance, both in body and heart, the invisible threads that tie you remain unbroken, pulsing with a force no lie can silence. This connection moves beyond surface conflicts and petty illusions, resonating on a frequency where ego fades and soul speaks. No walls they build can contain the quiet yearning of their true self, forever drawn toward yours, bridging the chasm between pretense and authentic union with a strength that defies all attempts to sever it. No matter how fiercely they try to push you away, your presence invades their mind like a stubborn tide, persistent, unavoidable. In the stillness of night, your image dances behind their closed eyelids. In fleeting silences, your words linger like a haunting melody. Everyday sights and sounds become unexpected messengers, awakening memories they desperately wish to bury. The universe, it seems, weaves a relentless reminder, ensuring your spirit remains woven into the fabric of their existence, defying every attempt to erase what once was. At the core of their being, an unquenchable fire flickers, an undeniable awareness of the bond that fate has woven between you. No rationalization, no mental detour, no dismissal of the unseen can snuff out this silent truth. They may cloak it in skepticism or retreat behind walls of logic, but beneath it all, that knowing pulses steadily, a beacon that refuses to be dimmed. The deeper reality they try to escape from stands resolute, a reminder that some truths are etched too deeply to ever be forgotten, even by their own soul. Torn between two opposing forces within, they are caught in a relentless storm of inner turmoil. The heart's quiet truths clash violently with the mask they wear to survive, each moment a battlefield where authenticity fights against pretense. Their higher self reaches out for liberation, while fear's grip tightens, weaving illusions to keep them confined. The soul aches to break free, yearning for honesty and peace, even as the mind weaves a web of doubt and denial, an endless struggle between what is and what they wish could be. The storm raging inside spills over into their body and soul, leaving them drained, restless, and fractured. Emotional waves crash unpredictably, while a creeping spiritual void gnaws at their sense of peace. Every sunrise brings the bitter reminder of the cage they've built, one forged from fleeting words born of fear and weakness. They see the irony, trapped by their own fabrications, denying themselves the very connection their heart aches for. With each passing day, the price of this illusion mounts, demanding a toll heavier than they ever imagined. The weight of their deception grows heavier with every breath, draining the well of their spirit until it threatens to run dry. They edge closer to a tipping point, an inevitable moment when the fragile facade will crack and truths long buried will surface. What captivates them most is their belief in your intuitive power, the silent conviction that you see through every mask, every hidden motive. In their mind, you hold a clarity far beyond their own, a knowing that leaves them vulnerable and exposed even in their darkest attempts to hide. To them, your insight is nothing short of supernatural, a boundless well of knowing that effortlessly peels back every layer of falsehood. They envision you connected to realms beyond, where divine whispers expose their betrayal and ancient wisdom lays bare their hidden truths. This imagined all-seeing presence casts a shadow over any hope of mending what's broken, building walls of fear and resignation that keep them locked away, convinced that no apology or explanation could ever bridge the gulf their secrets have carved. They remain silent, trapped by the weight of assumptions that you hold all the answers already, that every fault, every hidden fracture has been laid bare by some higher truth. Why risk vulnerability when they believe judgment has already been passed? This illusion of your omniscience becomes a prison of its own making, a barrier that stifles dialogue and stalls healing. In fearing exposure before the truth is even spoken, they forfeit the chance for real connection, leaving misunderstandings to fester in the shadows between you. They stand at the edge of your light, caught between admiration and fear, awestruck by the depth of your spiritual power, yet unsettled by its intensity. Your presence feels like a gateway to worlds they can barely comprehend, governed by truths far beyond their grasp. They yearn to rise to your frequency, to match the radiant energy you embody, but the gap between where they are and where you shine feels too vast. This spiritual divide pulls them close in longing, even as it erects invisible walls of doubt and hesitation, leaving them suspended between desire and retreat. Overwhelmed by shame, they hesitate to bridge the distance between you, feeling dwarfed by the vastness of your insight and the weight of their own mistakes. Their flawed humanity stands stark against the backdrop of your seemingly boundless awareness, leaving them feeling small and exposed beneath an unforgive that precedes any outward reconciliation. The harm runs deeper than the space between you. It's etched into the very core of their soul. The greatest wound is the one they inflicted upon themselves, a betrayal born of denial and fear that shattered their inner harmony. Until they confront this fracture and begin to mend the pieces within, the path back to authentic connection remains blocked, waiting patiently for their courage to heal what has been broken.